Phoenix Rising's homestand continues to close out this 2020 regular season. Tonight, Orange County Soccer Club makes their first appearance here at Casino Arizona Field in 2020. Tonight's match is presented by Equality Health. With Devin Kerr, I'm Josh Eastern. Glad you can be spending your Saturday night with us as we take a look at the Group B standings. Phoenix Rising still at the top, but things getting really close as we come down to the final couple games of this season. Many teams still with 3 games to go. San Diego with just 1 game left. That's against Phoenix on Wednesday.
With the stumble against San Diego Loyal, Phoenix Rising now doesn't even have the #1 spot locked down. Now, everybody has to chase them, and yes, they have games in hand on teams behind them, specifically San Diego Loyal. But you got to get back on it. And more importantly, Josh, you got to get into some quality form here. We've seen some results, but it's time to really put together and pass the eye test. And this is a team that they've really struggled with in recent memory against Orange County SC. 1-3-1 in their previous 5 regular season games. It's kind of been the thorn in their side. And you know what? What better way than to give yourself some momentum than to eclipse that mountain and finally get the monkey off your back?
Well, so far this season, there's been a bit of a struggle for Phoenix Rising against Orange County in the past 5 regular season games as well. But on the other side, this Orange County defense is what this team is built around. Super
stingy, and you know, the 6 shutouts are great. The 12 goals against are the one that really get me, because even though they haven't been able to score a lot of goals, they don't give up a lot either. It's very difficult to break them down. They carry quality composition, even with a little bit of a system change. Braden Cloutier understands exactly what is expected of this team moving from back to forward, of course, in the final third, just lacking a tiny bit if they want to get into the playoffs.
Well, Phoenix Rising's magic number is 5. Orange County, they need 3 points just as bad. Lineups and first kick coming up next from Phoenix.
Hurry into Sprouts Farmers Market for your favorite summer fruits. From the sweetest cherries, mouth-watering melons, and the juiciest peaches and nectarines. Shop the freshest produce at the best prices only at Sprouts Farmers Market.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
Equality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health Network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
Hurry into Sprouts Farmers Market for your favorite summer fruits. From the sweetest cherries, mouth-watering melons, and the juiciest peaches and nectarines. Shop the freshest produce at the best prices only at Sprouts Farmers Market.
County SC 1-3-1.
Back here at Casino Arizona Field, building up to first kick between Phoenix Rising and Orange County. Tonight's match presented by Equality Health. Well, let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. They are brought to you by Arizona Federal Credit Union. We'll start with Phoenix Rising, a bit of a different look in the midfield.
You will see some familiar faces, though, in terms of Solomon Asante back on that front line with Rufat Dadashava Jr. Flemings. Jose Aguinaga. I'm inspired by the fact that they have given him the opportunity, because coming off the bench, he has been spirited, put together some quality performances, and he's rewarded with a nod in the starting 11. And of course, Damian Lowe coming over recently, used him as a sub last time around. This time, AJ Cochran takes a seat. They slide Joey Farrell over. Lowe comes in next to Corey Whelan. And with Jose Aguinaga, he will be your Pacific Office Automation player to watch for just that reason. They need a spark in the midfield. They have to find a way to get this collective unit as an 11 going forward on one page. We have yet to see that. They think they found the results on the backside defensively, and they know what they're capable of up top in the three, but the midfield three have to start to bring up the rear.
And on the other side for Orange County, very similar lineup to what Braden Cloutier put out last week against Las Vegas.
And the only change will come in the form of Kemi Palmer taking a seat out of the midfield. Crisosimo steps in. I'm really curious to see exactly what this four starts to look like, because they have looked into that 2-2-2 type formation that we see out of Red Bull Salzburg. The back four, of course, has been ever steady. Only the 12 goals given up and 6 shutouts on the year. One of the best defensive units in the entire league. But the key question for Orange County SC, with the departure of Vinny Voltsen, who's on loan overseas due to COVID-19, is can they put the ball in the back of the net in the final third? It cannot just be Ugo Wakoli.
And those lineups presented by Arizona Federal Credit Union. This is an Orange County side still fighting for their playoff lives. When the groups came out at the beginning of the season, we thought maybe it'd be Phoenix and Orange County, but LA Galaxy 2 has also put up a good fight as this season has gone on.
Thank you.
And both teams taking a knee before the match. 15-second moment of silence, and we are just about set to go. Now from Casino Arizona Field, limited capacity tonight, but good to have fans back here for about the third game running, and we are underway from Casino Arizona Field. Tonight's referee is Isaiah Vlad. This is actually his 4th Phoenix game that he has taken charge of this season. And an early foul, and these two teams do have some history already this season and going back into past years as well. And right now it's Phoenix at the top of this group, and Orange County still chasing that second spot. Of course, it is Phoenix coming off of that 3-2 loss against San Diego last time out. Rick Schantz said basically all 3 goals came off mistakes, and we won't go very far if we need to score 4 or 5 goals to win. That was the situation they were put in last week. 3 goals before halftime. Rubio Rubin scoring a hat trick in the first half. Already an early attack coming for Phoenix Rising. Dadashov will bring this down on the turn. To that right flank. And Eden Quinn will possess it now for Orange County. Here's Darwin Jones. An option in the middle, but Jones will take this himself. Lubin defends his near post very nicely. And almost an early goal like we saw last week as well. Player down is Rufat Dadashov, who picked up an early knock. Already a couple chances for both sides.
The back line for Phoenix Rising out of sorts already, and just want to keep an eye here. Joey Farrell was expected to start next to Darnell King. Damian Lowe is actually the one there. Darnell, a little slip on the side. We've seen that before. Fantastic save by Zach Lubin. Look at him standing his ground. Perfectly shaped in terms of exactly how he wants to set up for the attack coming his direction. Love the distribution coming out of back by Damian Lowe as well. And it is going to be Lowe next to Darnell King, and Joey Farrell will go next to Corey Whelan. Something different than our conversation we had with Rick Schantz.
Trying to slip this through now for Dadashov, and the flag coming up. Tonight's keys to the game brought to you by Showcase Honda. What are we looking for here early on?
Simple enough for Orange County, convert chances. That goes back to Ugo Wakoli getting some help from, Darwin Jones, Brian Olowski, so on and so forth. And the midfield magic does make reference to that man right there, John Baquero. We can also talk about Kevin Lambert and Aguinaga. Got to find a way to really make sure this is one collective unit. They've had some trouble and transitional defending, as well as the build-up play going forward. Outside of some of the issues they had, which were initially at left back and now seems to have kind of filtered all the way through the back four. That's got to be the main area of concern right now. Phoenix Rising want points, absolutely. But more importantly, they want to look good doing it.
Showcase Honda is a proud sponsor of Phoenix Rising. They're the fastest growing Honda dealer in the Valley, so it's great when two winners come together. If you're looking to be taken care of, get over to Showcase's stadium on Camelback Road or online at showcasehonda.com. It's the first corner kick of the night coming for Orange County. It is a Carvana corner kick. Kasipli will send this in, an in-swinger. Lofted towards the back post, too tall for Rob Kiernan. And now to play for a goal kick. Tonight's injury report brought to you by Mayo Clinic. Austin Ledbetter, Landon Carter there, and Harry Forrester. He's missed a lot of time for Orange County this season. Flemings is fouled. Two goals last time out for Junior Flemings, leading that Golden Boot race right now. His teammate Rufat Dadashov, though, in hot pursuit as well. So bounce over the head and find Flemings on this right side, left side. He'll get to his left foot and win a corner kick for Phoenix.
How about the flip-flop, by the way, with Kevin Alston coming to the right and Nathan Smith going to the left? I think that's an interesting little change. Both of them more than capable of playing on either sides of the field, but it does mean that Kevin Alston will be matched up against the speedy Junior Flemings. What sort of help does he receive from the midfield? Seth Kasipli just moments ago. Again, I would say Ranilowski, Kasipli, and Chrysostomal all more than capable of rotating in and out of each other's positions. The only one that'll pretty much stay central is Aiden Quinn.
This one's lofted in towards the back post. The header back into the middle, and Orange County able to knock it clear. Push in the back there in Chrysostomo. First start for Phoenix Rising for Damian Lowe. Made one appearance last time out. And Rick Schantz mentioned to us this week, it's always difficult when you're tinkering with the back line, especially this late in the season. You want to be pretty solid at that position, which is something Orange County is. But on the other side for Phoenix, that has been their one Achilles heel here in 2020.
You would hope that the end would be in sight, though, with the acquisition of Damian Lowe. Joey Farrell did pretty impressively last time out. Gone are the days of the partnerships where the back line seemed to be really no issue whatsoever. 2020 throwing so many variables their way and just trying to steer everything in one direction as we near the completion of this regular season schedule. Something of note that we haven't addressed as of late, of course, you have to stay focused on what's right in front of you as a Phoenix Rising player, but as a fan, a couple results around the league that you can keep an eye on, namely FC Tulsa taking down San Antonio FC. So that #1 spot is still up for grabs. Of course, Phoenix Rising would need to do some pretty impressive things down the stretch, but coming in on 26 points with 3 games to go puts their top number, as mentioned, at 35. With that loss, that means that San Antonio FC with just 1 game to go sitting on 33. So as long as they don't win, they can grab the #1 spot. Of course, a lot of work to be done between now and then.
And that means Phoenix also potentially rooting for Sacramento tonight. Right now it's Reno up 1-0 on Sacramento Republic. Looks like it's early on in the second half in that one. If I did my math correct.
Correct, I like that.
Correct, trying to combine those two words.
Correct's a lot more difficult to do. Quadratic equations. 10 minutes into this match. Keep going, Josh.
A Phoenix win partnered with a Los Dos loss. And Phoenix can clinch a playoff berth tonight. That magic number being 5. Here's Oloski, chased down by Lambert. peanut gallery is back tonight, Devin.
Expect nothing less. I'm sure Phoenix Rising faithful are just happy that they can at least gain some of their support back in the stands.
Absolutely. It's good to see some people in the crowd.
The acoustics serenading us at the south end. Banditos, Red Fury getting involved. Some quality tifos rotating around as well. And speaking of rotation, some impressive coming out of Orange County SC so far. Still plenty of time for them to get back on track here. It's got to be, and you take a look at league-wide teams that you felt like you would see more out of. North Carolina FC's definitely got to be one of them in the East, as well as Miami FC. Orange County SC for me in the West. This was, upon initial look, 1-2 punch of Phoenix and Orange County taking down the top 2 spots in Group B. Hasn't exactly been that way, though. This is going to be an uphill battle all the way in for Orange County. As mentioned, obviously, a couple matches to go here. But the good news is they do control their own destiny. You know, that's the thing to think about. With San Diego just the 1 game, Orange County faces Los Dos as well, who are sitting just at 1 point in front of them virtually now. In Las Vegas, which you would think they should be able to grab 3 in, but again,
That's a stingy team.
Yeah, and last Friday it was not very impressive at their home venue. They were able to squeak out a 1-0 lead, but Vegas was in that match.
Trying to find some space for Junior Flemings. 1-on-1 with Kevin Alston, all the way to the end line. The cross back into the middle, brought down. Isaiah Vlad points for a handball. Orange County 2-3 on the road in 2020. Big win over Los Dos back on August 22nd. It's been kind of a weird season for this Orange County side. When they came back from the restart, it was 2 straight games against Phoenix Rising, a draw and a win, both at home. Then 2 games that in a row that were postponed. Then they went on a 3-game winning streak, and then you go a little farther on into the season. Before that Las Vegas game last week, it was 3 straight losses for this Orange County team. Reading Cloutier just trying to find some consistency down the stretch. He thought coming out of that San Diego game that his team was playing a little bit better as of late, especially going to that Sacramento game here pretty recently. Lambert, long diagonal ball, brought down by King. Heavy touch, but he still wins a throw-in. Darnell King, the in-swinger, right at Frederick Dew. Who do you think feels the pressure a little bit more tonight? Orange County trying to fight to get into the playoffs, or Phoenix trying to get back on track and eventually clinch that playoff berth?
Believe it or not, Phoenix. And the reason being is the expectations are so high for this squad. But you have to understand that, and we've talked about this in matches past, and not just on their broadcast, but league-wide, this team is the best team in the USL on paper. When they play at their best, they're the best team. The problem is we have seen nowhere near that, Josh. I mean, you're looking at a team that should be blowing teams out 2-3-0 every single night. And that's not an exaggeration. Opposing coaches will tell you the same thing. But their form just hasn't been there. The good news is think about it this way. They're probably about 70 or 75% to where they want to be. And yet they're still sitting at the #1 spot in their group. So even though it hasn't all been shiny bright lights and all that. Still in the appropriate position, still have an opportunity to chase down the #1 overall in the Western Conference. Might be a stretch, but it's right there. Where's Orange County? Understand that, you know, we talked about the previous 5 matches, 1-3-1. They know what they're capable of against this team. You know, they play spoiler. And those are the regular season matches, of course. In fact, outside of the 2018 Western Conference Final, this team has had Phoenix's number every single time they play.
A lot to play for as this season comes down to the final couple of games. Still 2 more for either side after tonight. Sante slipping in for Whelan. His cross defended by Orozco. Now it's Darwin Jones. Trying to turn the corner, and he does. Look at all that space down the right side. Big challenge coming in, and it stays in play. Now can Phoenix get back on the counterattack?
Watch the distribution coming out here from Damian Lowe. Plays a really nice ball, always understands where the pressure is coming from, but more importantly, look at the athleticism. Just steps right into the pocket, wins the challenge.
Did you hear that ooh from the crowd on that turn from Flemings, though?
And that's just coming off him playing off the back line as well. He really understands where the balls need to be fed into. You saw him a moment ago on the far side of the field as well. A.J. Cochran serves a really good ball left-footed coming off this back line, but Damian Lowe is a true professional in his own right. He'll do the same thing.
So Coley gets back to his feet. Look at Braden Cloutier trying to get his team back into position. As we mentioned earlier, they still control their destiny. They just got to start getting results here down the stretch. And the other game of note is Los Dos taking on Las Vegas tonight at Cashman Field. Keep you updated with that score as the night continues.
And you have to realize that for Los Dos, all they need is a point. A draw gets them into that #2 spot, and that comes down to wins. Remember, you go from points to wins to goal differential. Of course, wins would be the trump card there. San Diego Loyal would be on the outside looking in, at least right now.
"17 minutes gone." Both these teams still settling themselves in here tonight. Just 3 total shots between the two sides, and 2 of them coming for Orange County. Pass it around the back. Well, you just had Rob Kiernan on your podcast. What was kind of the biggest takeaway from that conversation?
Professional. The way in which he carried himself, his effectiveness in the words that he used. You know, you could tell that he had a vision in every single thing that he was talking or referencing. Understanding his environment as well. You know, he knows what he's been through. I mean, you're looking at a guy that's won the Scottish Premier League with, or Premiership, excuse me, with Rangers. Glasgow Rangers, of course, but also won an FA Cup with Wigan Athletic. And still, he's very hungry, but he knows there's a lot of youth around him, and he's willing to help not only cultivate those relationships, but help push those players to another level. By no means does he think his career's over, and neither do I. But also understanding that maybe something different is asked of him, and you don't get a lot of guys like that in a dressing room who have experienced that much and that type of success, but yet still willing to give back.
You talk about youth with this Orange County side. Of course, you have Kobe Henry and Alexis Cerritos on the bench. Francis Jacobs made his debut last week. Ball played through, flag up. Pretty easy call there from the AR. Orange County back into the attack. Kasipli. Only making the outside run, and Kasipli shot saved by Lubin. Getting in field on that left foot. Now it's Olaski.
The shape from Orange County SC right now is impressive in the sense that they're going pretty flat defensively, and you're seeing three really distinct lines.
Oh, look at that touch by Kasipli to bring that down. His cross was deflected into the arms of Lubin.
They're basically dropping into a flat 4-4-2. It suits them nicely, and then in their build-up, that's where you really start to see a lot of rotation in Eaton Quinn, Crisostomo, as well as Kasipli and Brian Olaski. The problem they're running into is that when they do start to expand in their movements going forward, Darwin Jones and Ugo Akoli are finding themselves in isolated situations, so that even when a long ball comes on the diagonal across, there's no support. You know, they don't have that second or third runner to look forward to, so when Kasipli lifts his head up, he's whipping a ball in. It's 3 or 4v1 for Orange County, and you can only ask so much from your strikers up top. That's where they're going to have to drop back a little bit more, or what you are going to have to do is ask Kasipli to start to branch out in terms of the width. Instead of, you know, tucking themselves in, they have to become a bit, we'll say, bigger in the girth that they use for the outside of the field.
Play it short. Asante will send this in towards the penalty spot. Diving header. He sent out a play there by Joey Farrell.
It's a fresh shaven Joey Farrell as well. Look at that. The babyface days, going back to the Rochester Rhinos. Lilly would be so proud.
Speaking of Bob Lilly, a tough result for his Pittsburgh Riverhounds tonight. Hartford Athletic down to, you were doing this game, down to 10 men,
Go
20 minutes left. A foul on Damian Lowe. The home supporters don't agree.
Counter-argue I was talking about a second ago with Seth Kasipli, where instead of trying to push him wider or Brian Olaski, which they're both super talented at, good pace, good vision, willing to challenge you 1v1 as well, you can ask Darwin Jones or Ugo Akoli to drop down into the pocket. This is one of the looks that you would get. You also pull out a center back that has to track with you. If they don't track, that just means that you acquire more real estate inside, and the offside flag here have to be better from the restart. But these are things that as the game goes on, Josh, you have to start to evolve as a team. You have a vision of what the plan's going to be coming into the match. But we've already started to see that the center backs from Phoenix are willing to challenge the interior. That's where you look for a quick little ball down into the pocket, lay off, and you can get the runners in behind. Phoenix Rising on the other side can stretch this team as they do start to try and overload the midfield.
Ball played through, and it was Lubin coming well off his line. And a big intervention by the Phoenix goalkeeper. Now it's Flemings. This cross blocked down by Rob Kiernan. Not on the same page there, Donishov and Flemings. Another goal kick.
This is exactly what we were talking about, Josh, for Orange County. Watch Brian Olowski, understands that the run's coming. Now, as Ugo checks in, though he doesn't receive it, look at the space that opens up behind. That's due to the fact that both Joey Farrell and Corey Whelan started to step a little bit, especially Corey Whelan. That allows the diagonal run of Darwin Jones to come across the back line of Phoenix Rising. Again, you don't always have to be the recipient of the pass. It can be the play just after it.
Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Here's Asante, outside of the box, big save from Dew. He stood his ground very well. And a throw-in coming here in the attacking third from Phoenix. Appeal for handball. Play continues. Asante again. Sends it straight out of play. Back to that last Phoenix chance. Asante just outside the area.
It's really the first time that we've seen him poke his head out and say, all right, boys, I'm here to play. This is the form that you expect out of Solomon Asante. Ball out in front, first touch, and he makes a quick decision. It's also something that has plagued Phoenix Rising over the previous matches where they start to second and third guess what their actions should be moving forward. They need to trust their guts here because there's quality build-up play, loads of space to be had. Just continue to pick up the rate of play. Lean with your first decision and go with it.
Go quickly on the throw. Another deflected cross, just headed away by Orozco. Here's Okoli. Jones up ahead. Jones, he was not onside. It was really close margins, just couldn't hold that run long enough. The best play on a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford, Arizona's largest Ford dealership. Darwin Jones scoring last week, his first goal of the season. He's popped up a few times already tonight. Getting in behind this Phoenix back line. Smith is brought down.
I think you want to keep an eye on with Rising's midfield, as we talked about Aguinaga, Vaquero, and Lambert. Lambert, of course, going to sit in the six. He'll hold the pocket and make sure defensively they aren't broken down, as well as ushering this game side to side. They've become accustomed to trying to invert themselves, where Vaquero will drift out to the wing was really the one that started to create that influx. Aguinaga as well. The problem is there's not a lot of recognition when one goes, someone else has to step in there. And not always, but if you're looking to find a way to connect the pieces up top, you have to create balance. Bakero comes out to the left, Flemings will bring himself inside. You don't necessarily see that on the right, and you would like Solomon Asante to feel more comfortable because he's oh so capable when he does drift into the middle. So if Aguinaga rotates on the outside of him and the ball's not going to go there, he can start to come back in because then you create a natural link up with Ian Rufat Dadashov. Instead, if you keep an eye and they go back and forth, there's a big gap in the midfield that's starting to open itself up, and it's very difficult for Rising to continue to build on that.
It's Darnell King and Ugo Okoli coming together. No love lost between these two sides. As Alston goes down, Fleming's committing the foul. He's pleading his case to Isaiah Vlad.
Things are starting to heat out on the sideline, and Junior Fleming's having a conversation with Kevin Alston moments ago. Darnell King and Ugo Okoli, some big bodies that really feel the force. Bone-crunching tackles being thrown around 30 minutes into the game. You would imagine that's only going to continue to heat up as this stretch continues. Been pretty impressive from set pieces, Orange County. And it is something when you're looking to build through the match, opportunities few and far between. And really change the momentum here.
Oloski whips this in. It's the header flicked along. The shot at the back post. It was a very acute angle. And it's time for our first half hydration break. 0-0 between Phoenix Rising and Orange County, 30 minutes in. Both teams with a couple of chances in and around the area, but nothing so far in terms of goals. Well, Phoenix Rising is honoring Mayo Clinic pediatric patient Dominic, his brother Daniel, and their mother Annie Regal for their courage by welcoming them to Casino Arizona Field for tonight's match. Dominic is a huge soccer fan and supporter of Phoenix Rising. He was nominated for this recognition because of the strength he has shown during his time at the Mayo Clinic by child life specialist Aaron Larson. Good luck, Dominic, and thanks for your support of Phoenix Rising. He's like wearing his red kit tonight, just as the players are as well. It's good to have fans back in the stands here at Casino Arizona Field. Devin Kerr, what have we taken out of this first 30 minutes? Not a whole lot in terms of chances either way.
No, you got to find a way to get Junior Flemings, Dadashov, and Asante more involved. And in order to do that, goes back to what I was talking about, link-up play. Midfield, you don't want to say three because Lambert's got his hands full right now defensively. That means it's going to rest on the shoulders of John Bakero and Aguinaga. I've actually been pretty impressed with Orange County in terms of their defending. They're lacking their build-up as well. And sometimes you're going to have matches like this where it's a defensive stalwart and the opportunities are probably only going to be, at least the way it's going right now, Josh, 2, 3, 4 chances the entire match. That's not a lot. And it's not a lot for two teams that really like to create and have talented players like a Darwin Jones, Ugo Okoli, of course, the front three for Phoenix Rising. That just means you've got to be more efficient. And when that one moment does poke its head out, you got to finish.
It's all been about taking advantage of opportunities. The South End making their voices heard tonight. Orange County's conversion rate just 10% this year. That's tied for 32nd in the USL Championship. Before Darwin Jones scored last week against Las Vegas, Ugo Okoli had as many goals as the rest of his teammates. Just shows you the type of season and the attack that it has been for Orange County. Small played forward and taken by Frederick Dew. Dadashaw brings it down. Now it's Beccaro. Naga gets it now. Back for Beccaro, and now Lambert. Whelan finds himself in the attacking third.
Just once again though, Josh, look at the distinct lines for Orange County FC defensively. Really difficult to break down. It does take some individual magic at certain points in time. That comes from Solomon Asante on the far side. It's just creativity. You know, do you have the imagination in a 1v1 situation to take a player on? Because it's great that you have rotation and you can understand where buildup needs to happen, but there are going to be times where you have to venture out of your comfort zone. A la Solo, you know, he's willing to challenge a Nathan Smith. Can you say the same thing about a Dadashaw, Beccaro, Aguinaga going forward?
About 10 minutes plus stoppage time to go until halftime. Can Phoenix Rising find that opening goal here on this set piece? Beccaro standing over it, Asante striding over there as well. Will be Beccaro to whip it in. Didn't get by Alston. Now it's Darnell King. Big tackle coming in by Crisostomo. Now trying to start the counterattack. There's the center back, Orozco, finding himself on the ball. It wasn't for long as Damian Lowe came sliding in with another crunching tackle.
Notice how quickly he closes down the space. You know, he's willing to play on this horizontal line, or even if it's a quick counterattack coming out of the back by Michael Orozco, just drifts over to the left shoulder. You know, he understands that Darnell King is going to take some chances over there on the left-hand side, and now that you have the coverage, it gives you the luxury to rotate into three at times, where you can push Darnell up high. You can do it with Corey Whelan as well, and this is just going to be on its own axis, and you pivot left and right. That's something that has definitely evaded Phoenix Rising in the 2020 season due to the defensive discipline that has not showcased itself.
Asante plays it short for King. He'll whip a ball in. Dadashaw in the middle. Good save, too. Another one, but Dadashaw finishes it off. Phoenix Rising off the mark in the 37th minute.
We said on one end that sometimes when you're looking for chances, a la Orange County, a set piece opportunity can be just what you need to provide yourself some momentum. That proves itself so true on the other side of the field. There's the challenge on Junior Flemings, and you got to make a play. Quick little swip out. Well done by Darnell King to recognize that if he brings this back to his favorite right side, he's got a couple runners that are mismatched. Look at the height difference because Dadashaw drifts in underneath Nathan Smith. Rob Kiernan picks him up, but it's too late. There's so much space to be exploited. And you just sort of wonder, does the golden boot race for Junior Flemings have a bit more to say about it in the form of Rufat Dadashaw, who bags his 11th on the year?
Now just 3 behind Flemings. He seems to score in bunches, Rufat Dadashaw. So might he have more to say tonight? A big goal for Phoenix Rising. They've yet to lose when they've scored first. Will that streak continue tonight? Now for Orange County, a team that doesn't score a lot of goals. Just 13 goals on the season. And they find a response. Asante in for Dadashaw again. Headed down and saved off the line. Orange County able to clear it. That ball was almost just floating there in slow motion in the box, right in front of goal.
I was pretty surprised that Dadashov doesn't go direct, but again, when you're lacking chances, sometimes the innovation you create on your own in the final third can start to mix up what's going on for the back line of Orange County. Notice even Rob Kiernan, everybody thinks that Dadashov is going to hit this direct. Really smart, and also great vision by Dadashov to recognize he's got the trailing run of Aguinaga. Can't finish it off, but this is much better from Phoenix Rising over the past few minutes.
Here's Quinn. Playing it all the way into that corner, into the smoke of that corner. Well, when you were looking for options and hope, when you were searching for answers, when you want world-class care and support from experts who can give you the certainty you need, you know where to go. Mayo Clinic. Find out more at mayoclinic.org/Arizona. They're playing through the smoke in that corner as Orange County will enjoy some time in the attacking third. Here comes Phoenix again. It's kept in play. Cross coming in. Flemings is in the middle. Roscoe brings it down. Truly Nolan, faster than a speeding cockroach, smarter than conniving ants, and more ruthless than a bed of scorpions. That's why when Truly Nolan is in hot pursuit, there's no escape. For a free estimate and $50 off pest control, go to trulynolan.com. And a foul as Okoli goes down. This might be in a good area for Aiden Quinn or Seth Kasipli.
The argument from Joey Farrell is that he was getting his jersey tugged on, but it's always the secondary offender that gets himself into trouble. That's a physical battle that's really tough to win against Ugo Okoli. Leaning into the challenge a little bit, and when Joey Farrell retaliates here, it's not enough, but it's right in the vision of the head referee. And it does set up that magical left foot of Aiden Quinn. Zach Lubin will recognize that. You would imagine he's got to go 4 or 5 in the wall here just outside the 18. Don't sleep on the right footer from distance either, though, because Seth Kasipli can hit it with the best of them. If this is a little touch out in front to allow Aiden Quinn to run onto it. They do have this lined up. You do have the luxury of a little ball down here on the right side if you wanted to peel someone out of the wall here. Phoenix, keep an eye on that.
Losky missed from a similar distance last week against Las Vegas. He was so close. What will they do here? It'll be Aiden Quinn, deflected out of play. Corner kick, Orange County.
Fantastic job by Junior Flemings getting the quick start here. Uses the pace to his advantage and just steps right in. The best option is Aiden Quinn here for sure. It's still a lot of work to be done by Phoenix because you have to hold your line on that wall. Make sure the marks are still there. And you just allow that one playmaker in Junior Flemings to go make the defensive stop.
In swinger. Put it away. It was Lowe who got the head on it. Another ball coming in. Lowe will be there to head it away again. It's been a really good first half for Damian Lowe. And Dew will come to meet this. Arizona Complete Health is the exclusive health plan partner of the Phoenix Rising Football Club, providing each member the tools they need to successfully manage their own health. No matter your age or stage in life, Arizona Complete Health has you covered.
Well, just as you gave a little update earlier, Josh, I just poked my head around the corner here to take a look at what's going on around the league. Sacramento Republic have equalized, and it's late in the game now, 1-1. Just about 5 minutes left. And how about the fact that Las Vegas Lights are in the 42nd minute, basically mirror image of our game right here, 1-0 against Los Dos. Junior Sandoval in the 39th minute have put them out in front. Right for the taking is Group B.
Just to spice things up a little bit, why not? Now Kasipli. So Coley down the line for Darwin Jones. Out of play for a throw-in. Kevin Alston might fancy himself for a long throw-in. Getting some big bodies forward here.
Look at Rob Kiernan on the near post.
Over his head, punch there. Orozco will let it go for Olaski, who brings it down for Kasipli, clips it up towards the back post. Head of the way by Lambert. Another throw-in now for Orange County. Good spell of possession. As we get into 2 minutes of additional stoppage time. Bit too far there for Kevin Alston. CW61 Arizona has all the Rising action. Watch the games right here live or stream it live on the ABC 15 app on Roku, Fire TV, and more streaming devices. CW61 Arizona, your home for Phoenix Rising. Phoenix with that opening goal. Rufat Dadashov. It was a good save at first by Frederick Dew, but he didn't parry it away far enough. And Dadashov was able to just knock it past the line. No questions about this one tonight.
Just play quick here for your Phoenix. A quick little turnover like that, use it to your advantage.
Fleming's back post, brought down. And that would have been a fancy finish, but the flag up.
Notice though that every single time they try and go rapid fire, it suits them much better moving forward. You know, Rick Shantz has talked to us how many weeks in a row now, Josh, and he said, sometimes we just need to understand who we are. And that quick counter that we're so capable of, we don't always need to put together 20 or 30 passes impressively. We can put together 3-4 passes, go in quick succession, and make opponents pay with our pace. You've seen that tonight. Even outside of the goal, quick build-ups. Seen Solomon Asante on the right. Of course, Junior Fleming's a couple times. When they go fast, they're usually pretty furious in their efforts into the final third.
A yellow card for Lambert. Trying to win the ball back high up the field, coming right through the middle. He went through an Orange County player and has his name taken. There is the final whistle of this first 45 minutes. Rufat Dadashov gets the goal. Phoenix Rising will go into halftime up 1-0. But on the other side for Orange County, it's a big second 45 minutes upcoming as they're pushed for the playoffs. It's really coming to a head here tonight. Halftime is presented by Arizona Federal. And it's Phoenix Rising 1, Orange County 0. Halftime show coming up next here from Phoenix, Arizona.
Welcome to the Phoenix Rising Halftime Show. Craig Pouille sitting alongside head coach Rick Schantz. And Coach, coming off a very tough loss at home, your first loss of the season at Casino Arizona Field.
Yeah, it's not what we really want. You know, unfortunately, it's one of those games where I think we started a little bit slow. I don't know if it's that we overlooked them a little bit or didn't expect them to be as intense as they were. But, you know, I've reminded the players that every team we play from this point on is playing for their playoff lives. And, you know, we're the only team that, you know, they can really get points off of without, you know, impacting another group. So we started a little slowly. We made a couple of mistakes. We found ourselves in a hole. I thought at 2-0, we started to really play, and we got a goal back to make it 2-1. And I said to the staff, you know, we really got to make sure we don't give up a goal before halftime. And of course, we fall asleep, another mental mistake, and, you know, we're down 3-1 going into half. And talked to the players, and I told them that this wasn't good enough. This isn't who we are. And I told them, I said, I don't care if we lose 9-1, but we have to go for it. We expected them to, in the second half, to sit off and try and absorb pressure and get to a period of time where they felt like they could just counterattack. But, you know, we created enough in the second half, probably even to win the game. Felt like a tie might have been justified, but we dug too deep a hole.
And how much of that was defensive lapses?
Well, you know, I'm not a believer that it's one player that gives up a goal. It's 11. There's 11 out there, and myself, it's my decision on how we play and who we play. So there was one goal where I think we slipped on a transitional moment, and then AJ was trying to show the player wide. A really good finish. I mean, you know, Ruben cut back to his left foot and slotted it in the far corner and in between two defenders, which, you know, we always say no shots we shouldn't be split on a shot. So I think we could have solved that problem. The third goal, it was, you know, good dribbling by Ruben again. And I think we could have probably tackled a little earlier. And we let him come across, and he hits a shot that gets deflected and goes in the goal. It almost felt like every bounce was going their way, but you make your own luck in these games, you know. And again, we just weren't ready in the first half. And, you know, we won't make that mistake again.
You're watching the Phoenix Rising Halftime Show with head coach Rick Schantz. When we come back, we're going to talk about the playoffs and what lies ahead for Rising.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Hurry into Sprouts Farmers Market for your favorite summer fruits. From the sweetest cherries, mouth-watering melons, and the juiciest peaches and nectarines. Shop the freshest produce at the best prices only at Sprouts Farmers Market.
In an era of online retail where everything is just a few clicks away, buying a car should be no different. That's why at Carvana, you can buy a car 100% online. We made it easy to browse, view, and buy from over 10,000 cars. You can even trade in your old car, all while binge-watching your favorite TV show. Afterwards, we'll deliver your car to you. Or you can pick it up from one of our car vending machines. Either way, your car comes with a 7-day return policy. So grab a seat, relax in your comfy pants, and enjoy the new way to buy a car at Carvana.
Fantastic! Sensational! Fantastic! Any way you slice it. This one he puts away, fires and scores. What an unbelievable strike. Oh, what a goal! There's the shot, it scores! Attacking, shooting, and scoring!
Oakland. The town. A world-class city where it's not just about where you're going,
but it's also where you come from. See, here, there's always room at the top.
where sky's the limit,
but roots help keep you grounded. And this is town business. If you know, you know. Some might say it's rough around the edges,
but we all know that the flavors are in the margins. It's a family affair out here.
It's all eyes on we.
Hold it down for the people holding you up. These things matter to us.
It is let's go Oakland over and over and over again, where East Oakland and West Oakland meet.
Show the town love.
And the town will love you back. Oakland, forever.
Halftime here in Phoenix. Phoenix rising up 1-0 over Orange County SC. What's going on around the Eastern and Western Conference? This is brought to you by Arizona Federal. Let's take a look at some news and notes around the league, everything that's going on. We can get both East and West involved here as Cameron Lancaster became the 10th player to hit 50 career goals. And oh, by the way, that guy by the name of Junior Flemings also scores his 50th. Of course, that was in the 3-2 loss for San Diego, so one bright light. And Josh Eastern, how about this? USL Championship Final. Every single year, the league continued to take steps. Sunday, November 1st at 8:30 p.m., they will be on the big one, the mothership, ESPN.
ESPN is right. Well, Junior Fleming said, whatever you can do, I can do better, right?
I love it. I love it. How about the scoreboard? Brought to you by Best Western. Josh, what sticks out to you?
Lou City, 1-0, doing what they need to do. Last Kings Cup match, bottom right. I mean, that's what we're looking for in Group B tonight. Vegas over Los Dos, 1-0, but top left as well. Hartford over Pittsburgh, two pretty manageable games for Hartford this week. They should take that top spot in that group.
I think you definitely have to look at that, considering San Antonio goes down as well. Not only is the number one seed in the East open up, the number one seed overall, remember, comes down to total points of who is going to take this down, who can be the best in the East or the West. No, they want the road to run through their home field if possible. Got a little bit more coming for you right around the corner. Highlights, stats, when we come back. Stick around.
Welcome back to the Phoenix Rising halftime show. Craig Pouy alongside head coach Rick Johnson. Coach, we're looking ahead now to the playoffs, and you look at Las Vegas Lights in Group B, they're already eliminated. But this is going to come down to the wire for you guys, and every match counts, every point counts.
Yeah, tonight's game is extremely massive. It's we have to get a result, and no matter what we do, and it's important. At least a victory at home in our two home games, I think, would take care of it for us. We can get a little bit of help from the other teams. I think Orange County and LA and San Diego still have to play each other. So we are in a very difficult group. We knew that from the beginning of the year that there was at least 4, if not 5 good teams. And Vegas was not easy. I mean, they're a good attacking team, and they've caused some problems along the way. But we go to San Diego, and that's going to be a tough environment. It's their last game, and they're going to be playing for their playoff lives, hopefully. So we feel that 4 points out of the last 9 available could probably do it. But tonight's game, if we can get 3 points, that goes a long way.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And you heading into this one tonight, you guys were also bunched up, the 4 teams in Group B.
Yeah, so we were a little fortunate. We had a good run, and some of these teams dropped some points a couple weeks ago. So we have to be sharp. We can't finish kind of sputtering into the playoffs. We want to finish strong, and we've got to play well and play aggressive and play our Phoenix Rising style football. And we're not going to change who we are. We just have to be better at what we do.
Yeah, and just a reminder for the fans too, the leader in Group B will play the second place team in Group A in the first round, correct?
Right, and right now I think that looks like Sacramento. We're not, again, maybe some results will change here and there, but it looks like Reno's, going to be the runaway point getter. And in Group C and D, it's San Antonio's got quite a few points. So at this point right now, it's win our division. That's all we care about. We can't worry about anything else. And if we win our division, whether we're home or away in the playoffs, we know that it's one game and we can get a result anywhere.
Coach, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Best of luck the rest of the way tonight. And of course, we'll be talking next week.
Thank you.
Up next for Phoenix Rising, they'll take on San Diego Loyal at San Diego on Wednesday, September 30th at 7:30. And then they'll wrap up the regular season on Saturday night, October 3rd against LA Galaxy 2 at Casino Arizona Field at 7:30. You can catch all the action in that game on CW61 Arizona.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
Equality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health Network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
Halftime here in Phoenix. Devin back from his ice cream break, and we're just about set for the second half. But first, let's take a look at the first half highlights. A couple of chances for either side. The goal eventually went to Phoenix, but we start in the 20th minute. A chance for Seth Kasipley from outside the box.
These offensive movements have cooled off a little bit themselves, and it's not because of ice cream. It's just lack of creativity in the final third. Seth Kasipley gets himself involved here. I've been beyond impressed, by the way, of the performance by Damian Lowe on the back line. He's really been the thwart against Orange County SC so far, but look at the transitional play. Ball out in front. Solomon Asante from distance. No. They need more of this, though. And Josh, I mentioned it a couple times in the first half that when they go direct, when they try and play with pace, that's usually where they get their best opportunities from.
And then eventually, it was just from a set piece. A good header there by Dadashov. A good save as well. But Dadashov there to put it in.
It's the foul on Fleming's. Quick little restart. And, you know, sometimes your vision, it has to change. You're not always going to be able to give the same exact look. The urgency was there. Finally, you could see the emotion that this team carries start to spill out into its performance, and they get their go-ahead goal. They would continue to apply the pressure. There was a nice 10-minute window here. I'm still shocked that Dadashov didn't go to goal on this. You can see Rob Kiernan tracking back across her. He fears the same way. Well done to flick this back across his body. Trailing run by Aguinaga. And there is pressure coming from Orange County SC. It's a good job by Phoenix Rising just before halftime to really gain some momentum in this match. They grabbed their goal, but a long way to go, as this is too talented of an Orange County SC team to go quietly into the night.
And it is a big 45 minutes for this Orange County side. I don't know if they're one to scoreboard watch, but when they see Los Dos losing 1-0 at halftime as well, I'm sure would perk their ears up a little bit, because they have some chasing to do in the standings. But as we get this second half started, it's Phoenix Rising up 1-0 here at Casino Arizona Field. Thanks for ending your Saturday night with us.
Like, what is this trophy doing on the pitch right now?
Of course, the teams will switch ends, and Phoenix attacking the south end now. They've not lost when they've scored first this season. Will that continue tonight? On the other side, can Orange County find a goal, something they have struggled to do this season? Just 13 goals, that's tied for 28th in the league.
Regardless of the fact that they aren't really creating a lot of opportunities, Josh, they're just not getting enough touches on the ball in general for Ugo Okoli and Darwin Jones. Darwin Jones had 10 total touches on the ball in the first half. Plain and simple, that's not enough. You gotta find a way to get them more involved in the run of play.
Flemings. Shot down there by Alston. Alston's done a pretty good job on that right side with Flemings tonight.
It's been a fun matchup, and you know, for the better portion of, I'd probably say 20, 25 minutes, Nathan Smith had Solomon Asante's number. That, of course, started to change as the half went on. And that evolution is what is going to be the big talking point. You and I were, off camera, and I was saying how this is actually quite fun right now, that even though it is only a 1-0 game and there's not a lot of chances, this is a big game of cat and mouse. So many pieces on both sides of the ball, constantly challenging the shape of the opposition. You said it best, it's a chess match. And right now, they're just kind of in holding form. Pawns going back and forth. Far from checkmate for sure. A couple key pieces have been taken off the board, and Phoenix Rising grabbed one in the 37th minute, courtesy of Rufat Dadashov.
When you get two teams that know each other as well as these two, you will get that chess match. These two coaches as well. So no changes to start this second half. We'll see when those alterations do take place. A very young bench for Orange County and Reading Cloutier. Now Darwin Jones looking to get in behind. Cross comes in, and Lowe deals with it. He puts it out for an Orange County corner. His first start for Phoenix Rising. It's being signed last week. Elaski whips this in. It did get a touch, and then Orozco and a free header right at the penalty spot. He couldn't put it on frame. Phoenix looked to play out from the back.
Of note that we have seen a permanent switch, at least right now, of Seth Kasipli and Ryan Elaski. Kasipli has now come back over to this near touchline, occupied the space on the right-hand side first half, now drifting to the left. That's actually when I was discussing with you about the lineup shape, what it would look like. Felt like Braden Cloutier would have gone with that to begin with. What a no-look by Aiden Quinn coming out of the middle, by the way.
Another good step there by Damian Lowe. And Lubin has to come clear this away. Lowe has put in a really nice shift tonight at center back.
Once again, two very distinct lines here for Orange County FC. That's where they need help defensively. Coley dropping down into the midfield here. I actually think their shape, in order to have any success, the way that Rising is holding their defensive unit, is they need to shift more into like a box shape in the midfield where you bring, it's a 4-3-3 of sorts, but you're basically going into a 4-5-1 where you tuck two of your attacking units just underneath your lone striker. And with Darwin Jones standing up top by himself right now, why not bring the likes of Brian Elaski and Ugo Okoli in there, and you could sit Aiden Quinn underneath Kasipli and Chrysostimo. Problem being there is that you have to maintain proper width, and you're asking more offensively out of Nathan Smith and Kevin Alston, and they're pretty occupied right now with the likes of Junior Flemings and Solomon Asante.
Sipley. Good ball into the corner for Jones. Cross towards the penalty spot. Nobody there in a white jersey. Now it's Flemings on the ball. Always dangerous. As King to his left. Flemings, he wants this all by himself. Eventually it's poked away by Rob Kiernan. And then a foul. Flemings was going for the spectacular there.
Quick little touches in rapid succession. Got himself around the defender, but it's a good little step at the tail end of it. Kevin Alston afraid to commit. I don't blame him. It's one of those ones where if you can just allow yourself to get some help from the support on the back shoulder, it's a much better look than trying to take down Junior Flemings in a one-on-one situation. That's a last-ditch effort at best if you have to go that direction.
Here's Flemings again. Into the middle for Asante. Block shot. Flemings, another block. And then it's poked away. That ball did go out of play. A throw-in coming for Orange County. Jones trying to get around the corner. Did touch off of Jones last, out for a goal kick. Out for a throw-in. Do you need to open a bank account but want to do so safely from home? Head over to ArizonaFederal.org. Arizona Federal Credit Union has been a proud sponsor of your Phoenix Rising since their inaugural season. You can get a new account open online faster than you can say Rufat Data Shop. Only at ArizonaFederal.org. Head for Asante. Looking for the cross. He'll take it himself, and it's right at Frederick Dew.
John Vaccaro recognizing that the left side, Orange County SC, has been the one that seems to break down more regularly than what's going on in the counterparts on the right with a combination of Alston and Rob Kiernan. It's also the willingness of Nathan Smith to try and connect with Seth Kasipley. This left-hand side as Quinn starts to pull himself out here. Again, this is just a team going forward that looks all out of sorts. It comes down to a shape change for me because look at the two up front, and there's a massive gap, and defensively it doesn't matter how good your lines are. The build-up going forward, lackluster is probably putting it kindly. Having real trouble connecting, creating any sort of awareness as to what they're trying to do once they do move into the final third.
Olaski plays it wide for Alston. Olaski continues his run. Now Kasipley. Alston lost his footing. It's kept in here by Orange County. Darwin Jones going down, and play continues. Trying to go quickly over the top for Flemings. And now trying to chip the goalkeeper. go right to do. We saw a similar goal, though, from Asante between these two teams, trying to catch the goalkeeper off his line.
It's actually the team voted goal of the year for their organization.
Spectacular goal.
It's on the other end.
It was. They flipped the camera. Yeah.
Yeah, now you're talking production.
Yeah, so
we're going to start to scare people. I would stay in my lane if I were you, Josh.
Copy that.
The producer starts to bark in our ear.
Asante back in the starting lineup. Of course, Phoenix missing his presence from a captain's perspective and from a production perspective as well. He has not been afraid to let loose tonight. Some shots from outside the box. Might probably give some of his teammates the confidence to do maybe something similar, maybe a little bit selfish. May not be a bad thing.
Continue to find a way to make sure everybody's on a positive note when you do hit the playoff line. For me, it goes back to, we talked about at the beginning of it, Josh, where Solomon Asante, though small in stature, really is their biggest leader. Not just the physical demand that he puts on himself and what he expects of his performance on the pitch, but he's very vocal off in the locker room. You know, he's always challenging his teammates, expecting the best of them as players and as people. And when you don't have that presence there, that constant voice, nagging or not, the loss can really be felt organization-wide, and you've seen that without him involved in the play.
Caro making the run forward. Asante will get it. He goes down. Where was this foul? Looks like just outside the area. Aiden Quinn commits the foul.
This is actually similar to what you saw on the other end of the field with Darwin Jones leaning into this a little bit. Watch Solomon Asante. He knows the challenge is coming right there from Aiden Quinn. He recognizes that he's probably going to take a little knock on it, like it or not. It's right in front of both the AR and our head official. Two right-footers sitting on it. This is where I would love to see something just drift back to the top of the 18 and allow someone to run onto it. It's in traffic, much more difficult for the goalkeeper to pick it up.
It'll be Asante, back post, headed out of play, and it's a corner kick upcoming. Well, it's time for the Sonic Happy Hour, brought to you by Sonic. Enjoy the Car Hop Classic for a knockout price of $2.99. If a rising player scores during the 60th minute, one lucky fan will win a $500 Sonic gift card. For more information, visit phxrisingfc.com/Sonic. Good opportunity here from the corner kick. Becerra will whip this in. Flicked along. Roll out a Phoenix throw. Zaginaga will knock it back for Farrell. Try to switch the play. Didn't quite work out as he intended. A yellow card for Junior Fleming's a professional foul. A tactical foul, however you want to put it.
Caution has been issued by the referee of Phoenix Rising FC number 7, Junior Fleming.
Ball played through, flag staying down, and Damian Lowe coming up big again in central defense.
Notice the willingness by Damian Lowe and Joey Farrell to switch back and forth here. It's difficult enough to master one area on the pitch, yet alone the fact that both are comfortable on either side of the field. That's something to keep an eye on. You know, they've really struggled with that back four in general, yet alone the fact that there is a switch coming side to side. Damian Lowe, there's not many people that are going to win either A, a foot race, or B, a physical battle against Ugo Okoli. Damian Lowe can now put a feather in his cap on that one. That's got to be the man of the match for Phoenix Rising so far tonight. He has stepped in quite a few times when Orange County SC has started to push themselves into an advantageous position.
I should tell you it's still 1-0 to Las Vegas Lights over Los Dos. That one at the hour mark. And Reno and Sacramento ended up in a 1-1 draw. A couple of set-piece goals for either side. So this one and the match in Las Vegas, the only two going on as Lubin makes the catch. Foul on Orozco.
How crazy is it to think, by the way, that entering the game tonight, this entire Group B, how closely knit it is together. Not only had Phoenix not clinched a playoff spot, there's still a chance, I'm getting to the result in a second, that they might not even make the playoffs. Considering the way results are going right now, not only is that not the case, they can actually clinch the #1 seed if results hold. That's how close everything is in Group B.
They came in with a magic number of 5. So anything that adds up to that, they are in. By Corey Whelan. What will the changes be, if any, from Orange County and Brayden Cloutier tonight? It sounds like we'll be getting a sub soon in the name of Kevin Coleman. Flag up for offside again. Distribution from Lubin. Be part of the conversation. Watch the drama unfold live when the USL Championship playoffs begin on October 9th. Catch every match, every goal, every save, and every celebration on ESPN Plus on the way to the USL Championship Final, November 1st at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN and ESPN Deportes. 1 from Phoenix. Sounds like the sub will happen now. Kevin Coleman will come on. He'll make his 8th appearance this season. And it will be Kasipli to come off. The sub presented by Sprouts.
Seth Kasipli, actually a bit surprised that Cloutier was pulling him off, and you wonder with Kevin Coleman's ability to play both on the inside and the outside as to whether or not this is going to get some of that shape change that I was talking about. Again, they've got to find a way to start to take advantage and overload the midfield a little bit here. Immediately you see Ugo Ikoli step up top and Darwin Jones start to rotate to the right. There's the 3 that I referenced. And the question is are they going to invert the 2 triangles to create a much more impressive look going forward? Basically, 1 sitting deep in midfield, Aiden Quinn, 2 in front of him, then spread 2 wide and 1 striker up top. It's creating a 6-man front that you are going to rely on your outside backs a bit more, but it does give you a better look moving forward.
Kevin Coleman did come off the bench earlier this season. First matchup between these 2 sides. Canceled out Junior Fleming's opening goal. And the 1-1 draw when these 2 teams met back on July 16th. That is his lone goal on the season. Can he provide a similar spark tonight?
Notice that Brian Olofsky has tucked himself inside. This is much more of a 4-2-3-1 type situation now. Again, I still think it's better when you break down the 2 teams that you go with 1 pivot on the bottom instead of Crisostomo and Aiden Quinn. They're obviously worried about build-up play coming through at central location. I'm more concerned on the transitional play. This allows them to keep their lines of 4 for sure. Maybe about 10-15 minutes to go, they turn this game on its head and, you know, tweak it a little bit so they continue to move forward. But right now, it's just keeping the game in front of them. Phoenix Rising dancing on the ball a lot. It's been quiet over the past couple minutes from both these teams.
Throw in here for Phoenix. Something we talked about with Rick Schantz early on this season, and even going all the way back to March when we had some conversations of what he learned from last season as you get late into the season and when these games become a little bit more important down the stretch. Maybe instead of trying to go for goal number 2 or 3, you don't necessarily bunker in, but you think defensively a little bit more than you might say in July.
Mentally, it forces you to be more aware as well. Where you have that 1-goal lead, and okay, like you said, you always have to go.
Sante, top of the box. Flemings goes down. Play continues.
This has got to be a quick ball, ushered to the far side almost immediately. There you go, pick it up. When you get that small window of opportunity where Junior Flemings and Solomon Asante are so high, you counter fast. You have to go faster than what you're looking at.
Coleman, good ball in, and it just sneaks by Brian Olofsky.
This is exactly why, Josh. Spot on what I'm talking about, where you don't allow Phoenix Rising to reset their defensive shape. Quick little look up, runs coming out of the midfield. These are the numbers that we were referencing in terms of their overall shape changing. This is Brian Olofsky coming on a deep lying roll all the way through the middle. He's sitting in front of Crisostomo and Aiden Quinn, and everybody's occupied by the run of Ugo Okoli, and he just drifts over that back shoulder.
Oh, pushing the back on Dadashov. And you wonder what the subs could be on the Phoenix Rising side tonight. Rick Schantz was unsure when we talked to him how long Damian Lowe could go tonight, saying he may not go a full 90. We're still getting back to full fitness since being brought in last week. But he's been fantastic out there tonight. You hate to take him off.
You know, took the words right out of my mouth. The problem you run into is doesn't become a liability because he's not full 90 match fit.
Fleming's trying to stretch his legs a little bit more. Lambert for Asante. Can they catch Phoenix out now? As Asante races back. Gonna run down the right. Cross in for Okoli, goes all the way through. Now it's Coleman again, just served in a good ball. They do so again. Not this time, over the head of Darwin Jones.
This almost looked like Ugo Okoli didn't think the ball was actually going to be able to be served into him. It was a good run to the near post and well done by Darwin Jones on the right-hand side to try and pick out the striker. The last-ditch effort was definitely too little, too late, even with both markers on him from Phoenix Rising.
Whelan ends up winning a throw-in. Things didn't look great from Phoenix Rising playing out of the back. Touch by Aguinaga. Asante is not on the same page. Hey fans, here's a money savings tip from APS. Savings can add up fast just by changing how and when you use energy. If you're looking for ways to save on your bill, start by visiting aps.com/save. One stop, find plans, tools, and rebates, plus find tips for every room in your home. For all the money saving ideas, visit aps.com/save. Sounds like Phoenix Rising will get ready to make a couple of subs into the midfield in just a moment. Foul there on Alston. Jose Aguinaga getting his first start of the season tonight. Coming in for Sam Stanton. Stanton's been a staple into this lineup pretty much all season long. He's made 12 appearances, made 10 starts. Aguinaga, this is just his 7th appearance of the season, a player down for Orange County. Looks like we'll get our second half hydration break as well. There's Okoli. He's been down a couple of times tonight. "75 minutes gone. Phoenix with that 1-0 advantage. Came in the 37th minute. Just off the restart, Dadashov finished it off.
Good vision. Just keep an eye. Look at Dadashov. You have to explain to yourself if you're an Orange County player, exactly why you let this happen, because there's 3 players all in white jerseys, no one marking up Dadashov. He gets in behind Rob Kiernan. Nathan Smith doesn't follow him all the way back over, and Michael Orozco is nowhere to be found. And a man of that caliber, especially from an aerial threat standpoint, cannot be allowed to explore the depths of the final third with his head, because he will make you pay. And you wondered where the changes are going to come from. I knew that they would definitely bring Sam Stanton in. I figured the change would be for John Vaquero. They are going to bring Jordan Schweitzer in as well. And Aguinaga will take a seat alongside him.
Leading the match is number 9, Sean Okoli.
So a couple of subs. Sam Stanton will come on for Jose Aguinaga. Jordan Schweitzer will come on as well. I believe John Vaquero. It will be Cami Palmer and Alexis Cerritos coming on for Orange County. All those subs presented by Sprouts. So the 3rd sub used for Orange County tonight. Subs 1 and 2 used by Phoenix Rising. Phoenix will go quick. Ball played in, brought down, and played just wide by Dadashov. Fancy footwork into the round. Frederick Dew in goal. Just couldn't find the finish.
On the left foot, trying to pick out the far post. Once again, Rob Kiernan and Dadashov, quick fire option. Watch as he drifts back over here. Thinks he's going to be able to take this off his head. And his shoulder drops too quickly. It's well done by Dadashov to bring his back across the body. Just sort of wonder, was that the opportunity to seal this game? Because Orange County SC is trying to find a way to build themselves back into it. Cami Palmer coming in next to Chrysostamo. Still the midfield lacking in their movements going forward.
Los Dos, they have come back to level things with Las Vegas Lights. Big result there coming down the stretch. Lubin quick to it from Phoenix. So Augie Williams getting a big equalizer for Los Dos. That's a Los Dos side that comes into Casino Arizona Field next weekend.
The key thing to remember with that result, if it does hold, is that Phoenix can still clinch a playoff spot. They just can't clinch the #1 overall. Now, mind you, there's a very good chance they still do, considering Los Dos would have to win 2 other games and do it in pretty impressive fashion. So of course, wins and goal differential would come into play.
They'd have to make up a 25 goal differential.
If anybody could do it, Los Dos could.
It's 23 to -2.
You don't think they could win 12-0 and 14-0?
I don't, actually. Sorry.
You're just not a believer, Josh.
I've been wrong before.
You're a believer, not a believer.
I wouldn't say I'm that either. Coming in, it's cleared away by Schweitzer. We'll give Los Dos credit, though. They have 23 points, 7 wins with a -2 goal differential. It's kind of hard to do.
They can score 30, but they give up 30.
Yes, they do.
They
give up 32.
32, yeah, it would be the other way around. I said to you, we've talked about it multiple times, not being disrespectful to any other club, but just on overall form and what we've seen out of those teams, that Los Dos would be the #2 team to get through.
You've been on their bandwagon the whole way.
Yeah,
I gotta give you credit.
Still a long way to go. And even with a loss tonight, Orange County SC still has 2 remaining matches. One is against Los Dos. I just wonder with 10 minutes to go here, can they get more involved? You're seeing another rotation in the midfield. You're allowing Danny Crisosimo to start to sit a little bit deeper with Aiden Quinn venturing forward next to Cami Palmer. I'm telling you, if they turn this thing around and go with the single pivot and move 2 into the midfield, I understand you're taking a chance defensively. You open yourself up a little bit, but you've reached that point in time in the season that you have to start to take some of these chances and gamble a little bit.
A handball. The net's thumped away. Oh boy. Lambert has to be very careful. He's already on a yellow card. This might be a big problem for Kevin Lambert. This is a big decision from Isaiah Vlad.
Well, this could change everything. He's saying no more. That's your get out of jail free card right there. You are really lucky to get away scot-free on this one. And Greg Cloutier saying the same exact thing, because almost any other player on the pitch right now that's not sitting on a yellow, you better believe a card is being brandished.
He has every right to be angry, Ray Cloutier. And a foul now going against Orange County. 8 minutes to go. Their playoff lives not really hanging in the balance necessarily, but getting a result tonight of utmost importance for Orange County.
Kevin Olsen, the magical beard that is. Not exactly sure how we were going to pay respects to it. Beautifully done by the outside back. Washington, D.C. native. It's definitely not something I want to be on the other end of a bar fight with.
32-year-old Kevin Alston. Smith plays this back for Frederick Dew. All played over the top. A little bit awkward at the back here. Lubin's way off his line. Jones, it's blocked off the chest of Lubin. He couldn't use his hands. He was still outside the box. A heads-up play by the Phoenix keeper. There's a foul, and there's a yellow card.
This is really lucky for Phoenix Rising and unfortunate for Orange County that they're not able to capitalize on this opportunity. Great job by Frederick Dew on one end. Little quick fire counterattack. Shades of Hartford Athletic and Parfait Mondonda against New York Red Bull 2 earlier this season. Great wherewithal by Darwin Jones to understand that he's got the run on the backside. He cannot link up with Alexis Cerritos. And then the second opportunity coming back across. That's just Zach Lubin recognizing his surroundings and getting his body in front of it, because that could have easily been 1-1.
Chandler Hoffman into the fray. Daniel Chrysostimo out. That substitution presented by Sprouts. Hoffman across the flex out for a corner. There's a Carvana corner kick upcoming for Orange County. All whipped in, headed away by Dadashov. Another throw-in. And Coleman, heavy touch. It's out for another throw-in, this one to Phoenix. If you're on the road or can't watch the match, Turn on Sirius XM-FC, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Meola, and Rodney Marsh. Fans of the USL can now listen to the best matches of the week, along with action from MLS, the Premier League, and the UEFA Champions League. Sirius XM-FC, channel 157 on your Sirius XM radio and the Sirius XM app. You can see the score in the top right. Los Dos, a 2-1 advantage now over Las Vegas Lights. Jonathan Perez getting the goal in the 81st minute. And that could take the destiny out of Orange County's hands. Phoenix subs readying on the near side. Smith couldn't get around Whelan. Here are the two subs, Santi Moar, Joey Calistri. They will come on. And Asante, sounds like Junior Flemings, will come off. Those subs presented by Sprouts. So no goal tonight for Junior Flemings. Santi Moar will come on for the last few minutes. We were talking earlier about Santi Moar. Talked about him starting kind of slow. He has 5 assists, almost a quiet 5 assists. He's climbing the assist ranks, not only this team, but the USL Championship as well. Coleman, cross. Nobody there on the other side. Fight for it, and a Phoenix Rising throw-in. Sanderson Ford, ABC 15, CW 61, and Sprouts Farmers Market present Kick in a donation for Operation Santa Claus. Bring donations of food, toys, or child-sized clothing to next Saturday's game, and you could win Phoenix Rising season tickets for next year. For more info, go to givetotheclaws.com.
Revenge foul here by Quinn. Like he wasn't the benefactor of the call just prior, and the challenge was on him, so just repaying the favor. But that's some quality sportsmanship on the backside of things, and with just around 2 minutes to go, but of course a couple minutes of stoppage time headed our way as well, Josh. Got to give credit to Phoenix Rising and their ability to lock this thing down. Orange County SC just once again offensively has almost been a non-factor. It's a real problem for here moving forward.
Brought down and put out of play. You look at the golden boot race. Dadashov just sneaking up on Junior Flemings. Our Sprout stat of the game.
Remember that if results do hold, not only would Phoenix Rising jump to 29, they still do not lock down the #1 position. They would, however, with the victory, lock in a playoff spot. The key thing to think about at Group B is that San Diego Loyal, if Los Dos hold it, would officially be eliminated. Their season would be over with. The final game of their season, of course, with Phoenix Rising next weekend.
It's probably throw the kitchen sink time for Orange County. 4 minutes of stoppage time. Now Mowar with the head of steam. Wide for Dadashah. Mowar continues his run. Standing Dadashah in the middle. Mowar eventually loses out to Kiernan. He'll move quickly. Route one right over the top. Lubin will just let this roll as far as he can let it go. Long switch of play. Calistri. Joey Calistri steps by a defender. Good save by Du.
They'll just play keep away here. Make Orange County come chase.
They've done a lot of running tonight.
Yeah, especially here in the second half. Still, it all goes back to, think about the amount of times that you've seen Ugo Okoli or Darwin Jones running forward. Not being involved in the run of play, that's a whole nother issue, but actually having the ball out in front of them, running at teams. And you're looking at a former MVP of this league that just really hasn't been given the opportunity to do anything whatsoever in terms of honing his craft on the offensive side of the ball.
Phoenix wins the throw-in. 90 seconds to go. If this scoreline holds, Phoenix did what they needed to do at home. A bounce-back performance. I'm sure Rick Schatz will be a fan of the clean sheet if they can hold out for just about a minute more.
Handball. Oh, now you take your time here. No, Rob Kinnard's got to be smarter. This is a danger area for sure. Great job by the center back. They brought him off the back line. Gets a little flick and bringing the goalkeeper up as well.
Why not?
You know, they understand latch ditch efforts. Overload the box, throw bodies in, and see if you can find a way to at least salvage a point and stay within striking distance of Los Dos.
We've seen a goalkeeper assist this year. Wasn't necessarily counted as an assist, but a helped header by Matt Van Okel for Birmingham Legion. Now can Orange County do the same? It's clipped in. Du, he goes down. And he'll have to sprint back, and Phoenix just knock this out of play. Last few moments. Frederick Du up there, and now it's Quinn. We've reached the minimum of 4. One final chance. Can Orange County salvage something? And there's the final whistle. Phoenix Rising back in the win column. 1-0 over Orange County. Well, it wasn't easy, but Phoenix Rising do get those 3 points. They haven't quite clinched the playoffs yet. Los Dos still with that 2-1 advantage over Las Vegas Lights. As we take a look at our Carvana man of the match, it's Damian Lowe, an impressive performance in his first start.
I think Zach Lubin was pretty impressive on the back line as well, but Damian Lowe coming in, we said that this back four needed to find a way to create identity. Damian Lowe did that for him all by his lonesome self. Some great challenges side to side, found a way to maintain the structure of this team on the back line going forward. They picked and chose their opportunities up top, and they solidified themselves a playoff spot. Phoenix Rising currently sitting as the #1 seed in Group B.
in the Sprouts Farmers Market for your favorite summer fruits. From the sweetest cherries, mouth-watering melons, and the juiciest peaches and nectarines. Shop the freshest produce at the best prices only at Sprouts Farmers Market.
Pacific Office Automation is the one source for all of your business technology. Copiers and printers, managed IT and cloud services, unified communications and telephones, security systems and cameras, complete conference room packages. You need to partner with a total office solutions provider that gets it. Pacific Office Automation, problem solved.
Hurry into Sprouts Farmers Market for your favorite summer fruits. From the sweetest cherries, mouth-watering melons, and the juiciest peaches and nectarines. Shop the freshest produce at the best prices only at Sprouts Farmers Market.
Back in Phoenix, where Phoenix Rising take all 3 points over Orange County. 1-0 scoreline. And that man right there, Rufat Dadashov, got the goal for Phoenix Rising. As we take a look at tonight's save of the game, and it is brought to you by Showcase Honda. It was really early on. It was Darwin Jones finding himself all alone on this right side.
And watch Zach Lubin just drifts to the near post. He knows he can't be beaten here, but he's got to keep an eye on the back post run of Ugo Akoli. Really well done by Zach Lubin to just stand his ground here. Makes himself big. Great save against Darwin Jones.
And now to the full-time highlights. The scoring got started in the 37th minute. Dadashov with the header and then the finish.
Get right into it. First one's the flick. Deuce spills it up on the doorstep. Gets no help from his back line. Morozco gets caught ball watching. Rob Kiernan having to chase everybody in a red jersey. He's 3v1. Phoenix Rising, though, grabbed their one, up 1-0, and they continue to apply the pressure. You turn to the page. Let's run things back in the second half here. That's shades of Darwin Jones in the first half. This time it's Solomon Asante going the other direction. He's trying to go near post against Frederick Dupe. Not having it. 70th minute. Orange County trying battle back into this. Little rotation to the outside. Watch this ball all the way to the back post, and it drops in. How do they not get a touch on the end of this? Brian Olowski, fantastic run coming out of the number 10 position, drifting off the back shoulder of Ugo Akoli. Can't finish it off. 8 minutes later, what would be for Phoenix Rising. Lovely little ball back over the top here, and you think that it's 2-0. Dadashov, 9 times out of 10, finishes it. But remember, this is getting down into the nitty-gritty. It's playoff time. Nerves are starting to heat themselves up. He hears footsteps. What he doesn't hear is a brace. 84th minute. Getting down to the thick of it. Thought this was the game tire. Great job and awareness by Darwin Jones to flick this back up over the top. Cerritos can't finish it off. Neither can Jones, and walks Zach Lubin. Little bit of pressure, and as he gets back to the top of the 18 turn, puts his hands back and able to take this one off the chest. It's a really good job by Zach Lubin, and just like that, that's where we have our virtual standings as it is right now. San Diego Loyal, now mind you, there are seconds left in that Los Dos Vegas game, and nope, we are just hearing now, it is over. San Diego Loyal has been eliminated from playoff contention. Phoenix Rising clinch a spot. Whether or not it's the number one, mathematically it's probably going to be, but Los Dos is probably going to grab 2 unless Orange County can find a way to beat them and take down Vegas during this final home stretch. Phoenix Rising, of course, still vying for the number 1 spot in Group B. More importantly, number 1 spot in the Western Conference.
Well, plenty going on in Group B as we come into the final week of the regular season, but Phoenix Rising is off to the playoffs once again. That's going to do it tonight from Casino Arizona Field. For our entire crew, broadcast partner Devin Kerr, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long from Phoenix, where it finishes Phoenix Rising 1, Orange County 0. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United